I'll be completely honest, the title was a little bit clickbait. I know I said how to charge over 1,000 per video, but this is honestly how I've gotten a lot past that. I've had videos where I'm charging closer to 2,000, but I haven't hit 2,000 yet. It's more around 1,900, but 1,000 sounds like a more rounded off number. But in this video, I'm going to kind of show how I've gone about that. Only took me a few years. You see everyone else saying that they've got 10 plus years of experience, and while they might be telling the truth, I did all of this as some dumbass. I got through this while I was around 17. I'm 19 now, so only took me about 2 years, but I'm going to show you the system that I've used to get here. So by you watching this, I'm assuming that you're a video editor. So the people that you're serving, your customers, are clients. It's these YouTubers, these streamers, these guys making content on like online platforms. So you've got you as a video editor, you are the vendor, and then the client, so the YouTuber, the streamer, they're the person you're serving. You're trying to get money. You're trying to make money as an editor. A lot of people hate the idea of saying that out loud. I like making money. I make money. You probably like making money. You clicked on a video about how to make money. So don't see it as a disgusting thing. A lot of people have this weird belief that it's like, oh, money makes you evil. If you try going for money, money makes you a bad person. It doesn't. And I'm going to show you why. You need to understand that money is made when value is created on the marketplace. Money is made when value is created on the marketplace. Value is basically just serving other people. It's making someone else's life easier. And value is created when pain is relieved. So you've got a YouTuber who is struggling to get videos out once every single day. This is pain. He is currently at once a week. So to get from here to here, he needs to go through a process, and because he is not currently at his goal, this causes him pain. If we can relieve him of this pain, we will create value, and that means we can charge for it. So straight off the bat, what I'm saying is you need to be a good editor who is working on creating value and getting rid of pain for a client. What are some other pains that a creator could face? The upload schedule. So like we said, going from like 1 week to every single day. The quality. The systems that they have in place. So are you able to work on like a Notion page where everything is like all nice and managed and you're meeting deadlines? So all of these different things, right? And you've got like within quality, you've got like, smooth animations, you've got your motion design, you've got your sound design, all of these things. As long as you're constantly going through this, there will be a higher demand for what you have. Every single penny that you make is going to be determined by supply and demand. Supply means how many people can offer a certain thing. Demand is how many people want it. The reason that a rock isn't that valuable is because the supply is huge. You've got the whole fucking earth is a rock, bro. How many people want a rock? Not that many. So there's a high supply, but no one really wants it. So the price overall goes down. Compare that to a Lamborghini. This is a Lamborghini. Lamborghini. You've got extremely low supply, so they haven't made many. And a lot of people want it because it gives you status, it's a nice car, it looks pretty, whatever. Low supply, high demand, super high price. This is why a rock isn't valuable, a car isn't. A car is. So we can put this on a graph, which is, let's get some different colors in here. Supply, demand. So supply and demand. This axis is quantity. This axis is price. Wherever these two lines intersect is going to be the price at which we can charge or how much money you make. So if you increase demand, so increased how many people want it, so we move this to the right, so you can see we're increasing the demand. You see how this intersection is moving up. So less demand, less price. Same thing with supply. If you increase the supply, so how much is available on the market, the price goes lower. And I know this sounds kind of weird in theory, but it's important you understand this part. If you think that you don't need a theory and you want to just skip to the actionable steps of like, I just want to know how to make $1,000, like you've been trying to make a lot of money anyways. If you feel like you don't need the theory, it means you really need the theory even more. The more you think you don't need the theory, the more you need the theory. This is like basic economics that you need to understand. And honestly, I think a lot of the time, the reason this is so valuable for us especially, We started this shit when we were young, bro. I started all of this when I was like 15, 16 years old. I didn't learn the actual economics or anything. I didn't go to university. This is how I had to learn it. I had to learn it on my own. This is me kind of teaching you. So everything is based on supply and demand, just like we named earlier. What we can do in order to increase our prices or how much money we're making, we can artificially move the supply and demand curves in our favor. So what we want to do is have the demand move higher in quantity, so you can see the intersections going up in price. And we also want to artificially move the supply curve to the left, so lower in quality, because that also moves the price. So you reach a point where it's just infinitely high. You can charge as much as you want. Now I'm going to show you in practice how to actually do that. How do you move these curves? There's essentially 4 market positions that you can take. There's innovation, relationships, convenience, and pricing. In these 4 areas, if you can pick one of these, they're the person that makes the most money on a market. Just like how there's like in most industries you've got 4 big firms. It's because there's each competitor at the top. So let's say in accounting or in law, there's like the 4 big law firms. It's because each one of them take one of these positions. So let's explain each of them. So the first market position, which makes the most money. So each of these basically means if you can take one of these, you make the most money in the market. The first one is innovation. Innovation is where you essentially put the supply, all the way down to 1. Innovation means that you have something new that nobody else has seen before, and once people have started seeing it, they realize that they want it. So if you are looking for a certain pen, you don't know, you haven't seen this pen before, but it's in your mind. This is like a thought bubble. So you're thinking about buying a pen, and it's a very special one. It's got like special designs and all of that. Now you go onto Amazon and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to look for this pen. My budget is $2. $2 for a pen ain't too bad. You're looking, oh, this one's not perfect. This one, oh, it's a bit too fat. This one, it's the wrong color. You've looked through literally like 30, 40 pens and none of them are perfect. Until one person has literally every single thing you need. You came in wanting to pay $2, but this guy's charging you $15 for a single pen. Now, you're thinking, okay, I'm not going to go for that now. Let me keep checking. And you keep checking for another 2 days and suddenly you realize nobody else offers this pen. You're forced to go with the $15 pen. So when you're the only person that can offer something on a market, the supply is literally 1. So you move the supply curve in our favor, which moved the price up. You can see the price has moved up. I'm going to show you implementation in terms of editing after. Just trust me, you need to understand these concepts first. The next one is relationships. People will buy a lot of the time just because it's you. No other reason. I've had clients where I have charged an insane amount and there's another editor that can do literally the exact same thing. The edits I were doing weren't special. And I even told them that I'm raising my prices. They told me that they can't really afford it right now. And I told them it's fine. I'm more than happy. If my prices aren't for you, you can go with someone else. And they'll continue paying me whatever I want purely because it's me. What you call this is being in the market position of relationships. When you and the client have such a close connection where you can basically charge what you want. The way you do this, a lot of the time in real life, you think relationships is one-to-one, but what the internet has allowed is what's called one-to-many. One-to-many is where you can post just like I am on YouTube, just how I posted on Twitter, just how I built my brand. You can post one time, and instead of sending a physical mail back in the day, now you can post once and 50,000 people can watch it. That's the power of the internet. And with every single person that consumes your content, you just slightly improve the relationship between you and them. So if you continuously keep posting again and again, and you keep building your brand, you strengthen these relationships. There's going to be certain people who keep watching your stuff. Sure, not everyone. Some people will be weaker than others. But there's going to be some people who genuinely really resonate. When you post on Twitter enough times, you might not feel as though, oh, I post a preview, so a preview is like a showcase of your work. You might not feel it, oh, it's gotten me any inbound clients. But there was one YouTuber who saw your piece and didn't decide to hire you, but your name is subconsciously in his head now. The next time you post, you do it for him, and for that other guy, you kind of strengthen the bond. And then you post again, and now you strengthen it again, and you keep strengthening it again and again and again and again and again. And then there's one day where he's like, okay, I'm actually going to hit this guy up. And there's going to be one preview where you're like, oh, this preview was the one that actually made me get clients. When in reality, it was those 50 other previews that you posted that built up for you to get him. A lot of people post a preview and they complain why they haven't got a client. Bro, I posted probably around 50, 60 previews before seeing like real results in terms of likes and the metrics that everyone else looks for. When I preach this whole concept, you know I'm not lying, because you can scroll down on my Twitter right now, VFX Malice, you can go find it. Every single day from not every single day, but regularly from February 2021, I've been posting. People see the results I have now and they think I got lucky. But they don't see the 50 other posts where I'm getting 4 likes per preview. So when you keep posting, you build up relationships. That's essentially what a brand does. The next market position is convenience. Convenience is essentially when you just make things easier for someone. People will often pay more to do less. People are lazy. That's just how we're built. Same way that there was this block of store chain of stores that was called Blockbuster. Blockbuster, if you don't know, it was like this store where they would sell like CDs, like not movies as in like you could watch it, but genuinely like the hard copy of a movie. Let's be real, bro. You probably haven't bought a hard copy of a movie in the last few years. So this shit is old. Blockbuster was like a huge chain, and then Netflix came along. Netflix, this new sort of website streaming thing, like nobody's really heard of it. People try it out and they realize they don't even need to leave their house anymore to pick a new movie. In fact, they don't even need to buy loads of movies and watch loads of reviews. They can just scroll and find one they like. Oh, watch a few minutes. Oh, they don't like it. Go find another. People found this so much more convenience. Blockbuster went out of business. So when you can make something convenient, people will spend a lot more money for it. The next is pricing. Pricing is where, by you charging the least, you will likely make the most money. The problem is with this, if you try competing on pricing, let's say you're editing, let's say you're editing for $100 and someone else offers the exact same thing for 80. If a client is looking for the cheapest guy for that certain style, they're gonna go for the 80 guy. So you try going down to 70, and then okay, so now you're the cheapest, so the client will go for you, and then the other guy charges 60, and it's just a horrible race to the bottom. You probably tried charging low, and let's be real, you've been out competed on charging low, which is crazy. It's a race to the bottom. This is not where you want to be. To be the lowest on the market, there is an advantage. Let's say you want to sell toothbrushes. It's a commodity. It's something that can be replicated so easy. Let's say the market average is $3 for a toothbrush, but you're charging $1. And nobody else can realistically charge lower than you because they don't know how to charge that low while still making a profit. So you basically are the cheapest on the market. Basically, everyone that's looking for the cheapest option is going to go to you. You're going to get hundreds of thousands of people coming to you. But the person that's charging $1.05 gets no one. There's no advantage to being the second cheapest on the market. There is a huge advantage to being the cheapest, and let's be real, with editing, you don't want to be working at $15 for some Iman Gaji edit. You don't want to be there. So pricing is not something that you want to consider when it comes to the market position you choose. So essentially, you can see now how each of them manipulate this supply and demand curve. You've got innovation, which moves the supply for what you do all the way down, so the price goes up. You've got relationships, which essentially you bring down the supply to 1. There are other suppliers for the certain thing that you're giving, but nobody else is wanted. The client just doesn't want anyone else. So there are supply, but it's only one person that they actually want. Convenience makes it easier for people to consume, for people to have. People like easy shit. A lot more people are lazy than are driven. Demand goes up when convenience is there. When it's easier, more people want it. Pricing, a lot of people are broke. Demand goes up. So these are all the ways that we manipulate the supply and demand curves. Now let's talk about this in context of editing. I'm going to be completely honest. These are the only two you want to focus on. These two will destroy your career. Let me explain why. We're going to go almost in backwards order. Pricing, you've already seen how pricing is a race to the bottom, where you're wanting to charge $100 and then someone charges 80 for the same thing, and then 60 you're charging 60 because you want to compete, and by the end of it you're all doing $15 finance edits where nobody's getting paid what you want. So we're not going to compete on pricing. And then there's going to be someone that thinks, oh, but I'll just make like my work better for the price. That is exactly what got everyone into this trap. It's the whole idea of doing more for less. That's like the whole like value sentiment. It's like, oh, okay, there's this one toothbrush that you're buying. I love the toothbrush analogy, I don't know why. There's this one toothbrush that you're buying and it's slightly higher quality, but I'm going to charge slightly less. That's essentially how they want to take over the market. That can work for toothbrushes because they have a whole factory where they're mass producing. You don't have a whole factory where you're mass producing edits. You actually have to sit down and do them. So pricing is not something we want to compete on. Let some other kid who doesn't care about making money do that. You want to make money, let's not go for that. The next one with convenience. Convenience is where you just make it easier for the client. Just like how Netflix made it easier for consumers to consume like movies and stuff instead of Blockbuster. An editor that makes it easier for a client to receive their projects is going to make more money. Because let's look at it from a client's point of view. For a client, this is what they've got to do. They've got to script it. So they've got a script, they've got to record, then they've got to send it to their editor, then they've got to give them the brief, then they've got to get it edited, so they're waiting essentially, and then they're doing revisions, and then they're doing payment, and then they got to upload it, and then they're doing all the SEO, then they're doing all the audience interaction, and then they repeat. So you've got this whole set, like series of actions in order for them to upload a video. The quicker that you can get someone from scripting to audience, so basically the whole process, the quicker you can get the whole process done, the more they are willing to pay. Now, of course, it's not reasonable for us to say like literally from scripting to audience like interaction being done. But you could realistically say like, okay, from them being, after they record, you upload it, so you get it from the drive all the way to uploading. Yeah, that's reasonable. What does this business model sound a lot like? Agencies. Now, agencies are an interesting topic because I know you've probably heard of them before. Agencies are where, essentially, instead of you being the editor, you are the person who manages like 2-3 editors and like a thumbnail designer and a script writer and like an SEO guy. So basically you have a team under you, so you're the manager. A lot of people hear this and they think that means they should get into agencies. You probably have considered it as well, and I'll be honest, I have as well. The only problem is with agencies, you're going to get outcompeted. For you to go from here to each step, right? It costs you money. It costs you to hire a script writer, it costs you to have an editor, it costs you to have someone do revisions, it costs you someone to upload it costs you someone to do audience interaction, and it costs you time to go back and forth between the client and the employees. Every single step is less and less efficient, and your profit margin is going down. Profit margin, all that means is basically how much do you spend and then how much do you make. So it's like, if you're getting paid $100 for something, but it costs you $50 to get it done, you're operating at 50% profit margin. With editing, think about it like this. You get paid $100 per edit, you keep $100 of the edit. You're running at basically 100% profit margin. Any money you make, you keep. You probably, that sounds obvious to you, right? It's like, oh, obviously you keep all the money you make, like that's normal. In most businesses, you run at much lower profit margins. It's not normal to make 100% profit margin like in editing. Agencies usually make between 10 to 30% profit margins. That means that you can make around $1,000 and you'll probably make around $100 from it. That is a dollar sign, goddamn. So you'll charge someone $1,000, and think about how much harder it is to get a client to pay you $1,000. Think about how hard it is to convince someone. You're going to do all of that for about $100. Because you got to pay your editors like 300, so you're hiring a decent editor. You're paying your thumbnail designer, and then like some SEO guy, then a guy to manage it. So you've got all this stuff, and then it takes out your profit. So you're walking away with $100. So you're thinking, okay, I want to maximize my profit, because $100 for like a whole week of like managing people, that's not worth it. I'm gonna start cheaping out on a few people. Okay, let's see how we can lower our expenses. This editor, let's say we only pay him, we'll get a guy from India. We'll pay him like $100 and get him to do a whole finance edit. Okay, this thumbnail designer, we'll pay him like, let's say 20. And the SEO guy, let's get rid of the SEO guy. I can do that myself. I'll spend a few more hours. So okay. So now we're running at around, let's say, $350 per video. Like, that's how much we're making per commission, because we're running at low profit margins. I mean, 350, that's all right. So you get the video done, but now suddenly the client's complaining to you that the edit's shit. He's asking why there's so many mistakes, why there's like spelling mistakes in here. The edit wasn't even done well. You can tell it was rushed. You tell him like, oh, you're sorry, but deep down it's your fault because you cheaped out on an editor. And now the client's complaining like the video's not doing well, and you're like, oh yeah, and it's because you were doing the SEO yourself and you were trying to balance it all, and now the deadline's here and the next video is supposed to be done, but you're late, and it's not even your fault. It's because the editor decided not to give the video in, and now you're trying to explain to the client. Now you got to refund him, and now you're looking for clients at the same time, and now you've got a bad rep, so nobody wants to work with you, and you've got all these logistical errors. A lot of people think that just because they enjoy the editing that they get into agencies. It's a completely different business model. If you enjoy editing, if you did it as a hobby, if you even tried getting into it, right now you're a video editor. Agencies are not the same thing. In editing, you edit. You do motion, you do like sound design, you might do some like negotiation, some sales, like while you're talking to clients. With agencies, you do none of this. Okay, maybe you do some like negotiations and stuff. Okay, now you're managing people. It's no longer you editing videos and making money from that. It's you trying to talk to your employee when he isn't waking up on time, so he's not getting work done, and he's telling you that like, okay, he's got some family issues, and now how do you not sound like an arsehole while like trying to get him to work, but you're trying to get you paid? It's like, now this is the stuff you're dealing with, all for 10 to 30% profit margin. You might see these people on Twitter that are starting agencies. Let's be real, you've probably seen thousands of editors that are starting up agencies. On Twitter, you're seeing like, oh, I'm starting up this agency. You see it in their bio, all these things. And now they have convinced you, just by you looking at them, that you should start your own. But what you don't realize is every single one of them are broke. This sounds horrible to say, but none of them make money. None of them has finance skills. None of them know how to edit. None of them ever made any money in editing. The only reason they're going from editing to an agency is because they never made it in editing. And when they went into agencies, they're even more broke. Because your competition, when you look at agencies, it's not these Twitter guys. That's not your competition. Your competition, if you start an agency, is these guys that you've never even heard of. It's these agencies like MN2S, got Night Media. These are the main two. These are guys that work with basically any large creator. You think that they don't work with an agency. People like Mr. B, Sideway, like, you feel like they don't work with an agency, right? These are the sort of guys they work with. These are guys doing multi-millions. Not per year, not even per day, bro, per month. These are the guys that can pay their editors well, so they get good work. If a client, you're thinking like, I'm going to do a high-ticket agency. If someone is willing to pay over $1,000+ per video, usually close to 2,000, right? And they see that you, a guy who has 400 followers as an agency owner, and you're hiring people from India and like you're paying them like $50 a video, like you're cheaping out everywhere. This person paying $2,000 per video, are they going to pay you, or are they going to pay someone who actually does this for a living and have the money to spend on good editors? These guys are going to abuse you if you try competing in their space. This isn't me saying that, oh, you should give up if there's ever competition. I think competition is good, but you should fight battles that you know you're going to win. when you come into here with you being like some teenager, little like broke dumbass, this is essentially you. This is me still. Like, I'm making like 20k a month right now. I'm still considered a teenage broke dumbass, because when you're comparing with these guys that have literally like multi-millions per month to spend, they're going to blow you out of the park. So don't let your ego get so big. The Twitter guys are not the guys that you're competing with when you get into the agency space. It's these guys. So convenience and pricing are out of the question. The next is relationships. Now, relationships is essentially just brand. Brand is your online presence. It's how your Twitter looks. So as soon as someone goes onto your page, I want you to do this right now. If you don't have a Twitter right now, you essentially don't have a brand at all. So go make a Twitter. And to see the quality of your brand, I want you to go onto your page right now. Genuinely do this. Like, well, don't fuck up my intentions. So don't make sure you come back after you listen to this. Go onto your Twitter. Genuinely ask yourself, if you were a client that was willing to pay $1,000 per video, would you hire yourself? If you wouldn't hire yourself, how can you expect someone else to? Your brand is your online presence. It's how good you look to someone. It's how valuable you seem at first sight, before you even say a single word, before they even go on your portfolio. You build your brand by posting previews constantly. You can technically build a brand by like posting giveaways. Oh, I'm giving away 1,000 presets and 50 sound effects, and like and follow and comment SFX, and I'll DM it to you. Like, yeah, you can grow your brand like that. But who are you branding towards when you do this? Is it going to be high paying creators, or are you branding towards broke editors? There's no valuable person that goes for giveaways. I'm telling you that now. When you do a giveaway and you increase your follower count by 500 in a single night, you're like, whoa, I've fixed my brand, guys. But now you've got 500 broke editors that were never willing to actually pay you. And after the giveaway, they're not keeping up with your post. They don't care about you. So now you're getting 5 likes per post and you look stupid. So you want to grow your brand organically through previews, through posting things that creators will actually like. If you're considering posting something, just ask this. Is this something that a creator will like? That's the only question you need to ask. If you can follow that one rule, your brand will grow. So when you build your brand, and once again, like we spoke about before, they constantly interact with it, there's going to be a point where people really like you. So before working with a client, you can build the relationship, and then even after working with the client. Once you've secured a client, so you've gone from them, your reputation kind of bringing you towards working with them. Once you're working with them, you can continue building the relationship. So what this means is like clear communication. I know you think your communication is good right now. I promise you, I thought mine was as well. I want you to read this book. It's called, I have it here, How to Influence and Influence People. Once you start reading this book, you'll realize how shit your communication is. A lot of the stuff that you think is good. So you know how you'll tell someone that, oh, I think that I can increase your views and stuff like that. You feel like you're doing everything good. A lot of the time, you're probably subconsciously offending your clients without even realizing. I've had times where I can ask for a raise, I can ask for a deadline increase, I can ask for basically whatever I want. And it's not the fact that what I'm asking for is special. Because someone else might have asked the exact same thing and they would have gotten a no, but just because I implemented the principles in that book, they'll say yes, and if anything, they're willing to pay so much more. So by having clear communication, you build a relationship so that you actually like each other. People pay people that they like. Also, just being able to deliver on time, the actual quality of your work, so like sustained quality, over delivering every single time. These are things that will build your relationship. The stronger your relationship, the less likely they are to go for anyone else. The supply essentially goes non-existent. You've got an infinitely high price. You can charge what you want realistically. And if a client really likes you, like I'm talking really fucks with you, you could double your price compared to everyone else for a simple video. And they'll say yes. And I'm saying that because I've done it myself. If you see like the reacts videos and stuff I do, I charge over $1,000 for them. These are simple videos, 10-minute videos. I'm charging $1,000, $1,500 for them. Someone else could get that done for $100. But they'll go to me just because they like me and they've seen that I'm a guy that knows how to communicate and it's a smooth process. The next is innovation. Innovation is once again somewhere where what you do is new. It's something that people can't get from somewhere else. What does this look like in editing? Honestly, it's just your editing being better. This sounds so silly, but you'll have all these YouTubers saying like, you know, those editing creators are like, oh, you don't need to be good at editing, just like know how to cut stuff, like pacing or like storytelling. These things are important, don't get me wrong. Storytelling is a part of being good, it's a part of being innovative. But these things like storytelling and pacing and stuff, they're honestly the basics. Because any editor can learn how to cut. Oh, okay, they can cut this, they know how to cut like these two frames off so the pacing is better, and then they'll put this here so the storytelling is kind of better. Like, anyone can learn that. For that to be done alongside things like your visuals, just how your work looks on first sight. Because a lot of the time, people don't watch an entire video for them to see like, oh, I wonder if this guy's pacing and his storytelling is good. I wonder if let me watch the whole 15-minute video to see if there's a 3-act story structure. Nobody will watch your whole video if the first 3 seconds are absolutely shit. So by focusing on your videos, as controversial as that sounds, this is not me saying storytelling and everything is worthless. They have their space. But nobody will watch your video and care about storytelling. They won't even experience it. If your visuals look horrible, if they see that your animations are choppy, they won't even watch the video to experience the pacing and storytelling that you've put effort into. I've hired editors myself, and I'll be completely honest. It's fucking embarrassing. Genuinely, the quality of the average editor is so low. I'm not surprised most editors don't get clients. So I hope this isn't you. If you're watching this, likelihood is, okay, if you're just starting out, that's fair enough. But you've got to kind of understand that, yeah, I'm going to ruthlessly make my work better. I can't expect to get paid unless my work is good. I'm not going to listen to these retards saying like, oh, top 5 AI tools, and then suddenly I'll be able to make 5 million a month. Like, that's not how it works, bro. Come on. Look at how many views they got. How many of those editors actually made a full-time income from this? So you're going to work on improving your editing, and that will take time. That's all right. I have my other videos for that. I post tips on my Twitter. You can learn. As you get better, there will be less and less people that can do the same thing as you. Less editors can do the smooth editing style. The supply goes down, goes down, goes down, because less editors can do that style. So now it becomes which style to do. What I've always preached is the smooth animation. If you can do smooth animations, what happens is pretty much every single niche, every single creator wants a guy that can do smooth animations. Smooth animations is a type of work I do, and a lot of the people you look up to, most editors, they follow the smooth motion principles. This is a style that I've created, and essentially, no matter what niche you're in, whether it be gaming, whether it be React, whether it be IRL challenges, whether it be art videos, whether it be finance, whatever videos that you're doing, they want a smooth motion, someone that can do smooth motion, smooth animations. And even if it is someone doing a simpler video, they still want someone that can do smooth motion. Because let's say for a simple video, right, an editor is charging $50. I could probably charge around 500, 600, 700 per video for the exact same thing for like a simply cut video. Not because this other editor can't do the same thing as me, but purely because I have the potential to make it better if I wanted. I do a simple edit because I actively choose to do a simple edit. There's another editor who does a simple edit because he can only do a simple edit. A creator is willing to pay more for you if you are able to do more than is expected and actively choose, like after discussing with the client, like the deadline and the style and stuff, you actively choose to kind of tone it down. That's what they're willing to pay more for. So you want to build the smooth editing style to a point where most editors can't compete with you. Most editors are shit. Their work is visually just garbage. If you can just simply spend more hours in Premiere, you will make more progress than most editors. Most editors are looking for a quick fix. They're looking for the quick, like top 5 AI tools. They're looking for the quick, like plugin that will fix all of their problems. The truth is, you just need to spend time in Premiere. Learn the smooth animation style, and you will become someone who not only is in less supply, so the price goes up, but the demand is higher as well, just like we said. So not only do you manipulate one of the curves, but you manipulate both. So you can imagine this goes infinitely high. You can kind of track where that goes. So of course, this is kind of the theory of like how to be worth the prices once you start raising them. In terms of actually raising them, it's just the iterative pricing framework, AFIR. I have another video on this. If you just search up like how to raise your editing prices, you'll learn about this. But yeah, bro, hope you found that useful. Of course, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube shit. I know this is kind of like a simpler edited video, but this is sort of how I coach and stuff. I've got more content like this. But yeah, love you, bro. Mwah.